In the late 7th century BC, during the final years of the Iron Age in the Near East, the powerful Assyrian Empire met its end. The Babylonians, under the leadership of King Nabopolassar, emerged victorious and established the Neo-Babylonian Empire. Although Nabopolassar was the founder of this new empire, it was his son, Nebuchadnezzar II, who expanded its territories and restored Babylon to its former magnificence. For the first time in a millennium, since the reign of Hammurabi, Babylon reclaimed its dominance over Mesopotamia. Nebuchadnezzar's portrayal in the Bible has shaped his legacy as a harsh and oppressive enemy of the Jewish people. Born in 642 BC, Nebuchadnezzar II was the eldest son of King Nabopolassar. His name, derived from the Akkadian Nabuchodonosor, means, "O Nabu, protect my firstborn son." Nabu was the patron god of scribes, literacy, and wisdom, and was highly revered as the son of Marduk, the chief deity of Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar likely inherited his name from his grandfather, who served as a governor in the city of Uruk during King Ashurbanipal's reign. As the crown prince of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar participated in his father's military campaigns. In 609 BC, he joined a battle to capture Haran, where the last Assyrian ruler, Ashubal II, had gathered his remaining forces. The victory at Haran marked the final defeat of the Neo-Assyrian Empire. Following the success, Nebuchadnezzar was promoted and began leading military expeditions. He and his father ventured into the mountainous regions north of Assyria in 607 BC. When Nabopolassar returned to Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar continued operations independently, securing significant victories and cementing Babylon's position as a dominant power. In 605 BC, Egypt's pharaoh Necho II sought to revive the fallen Assyrian Empire by assembling an army in Carchemish. Nebuchadnezzar confronted Necho at the Battle of Carchemish, delivering a crushing defeat to the Egyptians. This victory was celebrated in historical accounts, including the Hebrew Bible's Book of Jeremiah and Book of Kings. Shortly after this triumph, Nebuchadnezzar's father died, prompting him to return to Babylon to claim the throne. He succeeded without opposition, as his younger brother Nabushehr-lishar's attempt to usurp the throne likely ended in failure and obscurity. Upon ascending the throne, Nebuchadnezzar addressed Marduk, Babylon's patron god, in a speech that reflected his ambitions. "O merciful Marduk, may the house that I have built endure forever. May I be satiated with its splendor, attain old age therein with abundant offspring, and receive therein tribute of the kings of all regions, from all mankind." After his coronation, Nebuchadnezzar resumed his military campaigns, conquering the city of Ashkelon in 604 BC. He captured its king, plundered its riches, and left the city in ruins. Over the next few years, kingdoms such as Judah submitted to Babylon, and the empire expanded into Palestine with the help of Greek mercenaries. However, in 601 BC, Nebuchadnezzar's attempt to invade Egypt ended in failure. The campaign resulted in heavy casualties on both sides, shaking confidence in Babylon's power. Vassal states began to question Babylon's dominance, dubbing it a paper tiger. Rebellions erupted, and Nebuchadnezzar turned his focus back to the Levant. In 599 BC, he led his army into the Syrian desert, raiding Arab territories. By 598 BC, the Babylonians had captured Jerusalem. King Jehoiakim of Judah defied Nebuchadnezzar, hoping for Egyptian support, but he died during the siege. Nebuchadnezzar installed Zedekiah, Jehoiakim's uncle, as Judah's ruler. The Babylonians continued their campaigns in the Levant, including the conquest of Tyre, solidifying control over Mesopotamian trade routes. Nebuchadnezzar's defining moment came in 589 BC when Zedekiah revolted against Babylon. In response, Nebuchadnezzar laid siege to Jerusalem, ultimately destroying the city and Solomon's temple. This marked the end of the kingdom of Judah, with 20,000 Judeans, approximately a quarter of Jerusalem's population, being exiled to Babylon. This exile and the destruction of Solomon's temple were seen as fulfillments of biblical prophecies, leading to a strengthened Jewish faith and the transition from Yahwism a polytheistic belief system, to monotheistic Judaism. Biblical texts depict Nebuchadnezzar as a destroyer of nations and a divine instrument of punishment for the Israelites' sins. William Blake's 18th century painting portrays Nebuchadnezzar as a mad king, inspired by the Book of Daniel's description. He was driven away from people and ate grass like the ox. His body was drenched with the dew of heaven until his hair grew like the feathers of an eagle and his nails like the claws of a bird. Conversely, Babylonian records celebrate his reign as a golden age, highlighting his achievements in construction and governance. Nebuchadnezzar expanded and fortified Babylon, completing projects initiated by his father. He constructed canals, paved the processional way with limestone, and renovated temples. The Ishtar Gate, adorned with blue tiles and images of God's symbolic animals, was one of his most remarkable creations. A dedication plaque reads, "Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, the faithful prince appointed by the will of Marduk, the highest of princely princes, beloved of Nabu, of prudent counsel, who has learned to embrace wisdom, who fathomed their divine being and reveres their majesty, the untiring governor, who is constantly concerned with the well-being of Babylon and Borsippa." The gate's lions represented Ishtar, bulls symbolized Adad, and dragons represented Marduk. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, are also linked to Nebuchadnezzar. Legend says he built them to remind his wife, Amytas of Medea, of her homeland's lush greenery. According to the Greek historian Diodorus Siculus, the gardens measured 400 feet wide, 400 feet long, and 80 feet high. An innovative irrigation system likely supplied water to the terrace structure. However, the garden's exact location remains a mystery, and some scholars question their existence. Nebuchadnezzar ruled for 43 years, making him the longest reigning king of the Neo-Babylonian Empire. He passed away on October 7, 562 BC in Babylon. His successor, Amel-Marduk, was overthrown within 2 years, and the Neo-Babylonian Empire fell to Cyrus the Great in 539 BC, becoming part of the Achaemenid Empire. Despite the empire's short-lived nature, Nebuchadnezzar's military prowess and architectural achievements immortalized him as one of the ancient world's greatest rulers.